Okay, before you score, I had a quick joke I had about Eric's that I forgot to say, so I'm just going to say it now and cut it in. You can tell that was the first task that Eric filmed at the cabin because he asked if the lamps were clues.
Yeah, the rest of us all asked during our first task if the lamps were cues.
Yeah,
Of course, naturally.
Everyone asked if the lamps were clues.
Mysterious fixture. What does this mean? What does this mean?
Okay, so it's no points to Jackson.
Yeah.
And then in terms of time, it would be obviously Parker took over half an hour, and then Cole, Ian, Bree, Eric, if you're allowing Bree and Eric. How do you want to score this?
I think I really admired Eric's spirit and gumption. Can I give him a penalty though?
You could drop him below
Can I just give him like an extra 10
Okay, well,
minutes?
hold on. You gave the baby a point and gave me 0 in the prior one, so I feel like I already
I'm not
picked the last one.
disqualifying you.
Eric broke not one but 2 rules. He didn't follow the arrows, he poured them out.
No, but it didn't say you couldn't do that.
Well, but hold on. That's irrelevant. He just touched it. He just moved it without air.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, they're no longer arrows. They're now balls.
I know, but I'm saying moving the arrows, actually genius. I give you props for that. You just broke a written rule and moved it with something other than
It
air.
was very clearly a
Yeah.
If you had just moved the arrows and then put the plate at the end of the arrows,
That'd be genius. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you didn't move the arrows, you
Okay,
removed
I'll say
them
the
and
other
touched
contestants
them.
are pretty hard set against it. I think it's questionable. The rule said you cannot move. You cannot touch the feather with anything other than air. It's questionable whether he did that or not. The others have, I think, a vested interest in preventing this story. So
It's not questionable. Your hand is attached to your brain.
No. I'll weigh in on Eric's side. I actually support it. Give him the points. First place, actually. I like it.
so he is
I'm
at
on your
first
side.
time. So, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. How do you want to score this?
David, you were asking me why I found this task so annoying. I think part of it is because I anticipated the sheer amount of rules lawyering that happened. There's been so much talk about this feather task. I'm over it.
I was literally thinking someone is going to think they can pick it up with an object and move it and then say they didn't touch it.
Yeah, Cole did ask. He actually asked. Cole actually asked me if he could do the same thing Eric did. He asked me if I thought that picking up the table with the feather on it was cheating. I said no, and then he said I was wrong. So. Which apparently he was right. So there you go. Fair enough.
David, are you able to play back that mozzarella joke?
Yeah, I didn't get enough play. That's true. I can play it one more time for you. It was a really good joke.
It's worth it. Great joke.
Yeah.
I think you should just reenact it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. No mozzarella joke. Yeah, he said you can have matzah, and I replied back with the incredibly witty mozzarella. That was off the dome.
Yeah, guys, can we clap it up for that?
All right. Personally, I don't know what matzah is, and I really thought it was supposed to be mozzarella.
Can I just say I think Bree should get an extra point for that.
Hey,
It was my joke.
You know what? 1 point for David.
David's tied with the baby.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
Somehow you're now behind the Taskmaster.
Eric's in 8th place on 6.
I feel the comeback will be strong this game.
One of his Shakespeare plays, though, was the play Shakespeare. He thought it was the name of a self-titled play. He said that he personally would have done it for the name recognition, which does track.
If I would suggest the baby deserves an extra point.
The baby has been eliminated from Taskmaster.
It has been drowned, set on fire, had its feet just rubbed all over. Just like molested, and that baby seen a lot.
Well,
I'm surprised that you cut the footage of the blackened and charred remains of like feet and legs that you're not in a fire pit.
Well,
Those were perhaps a bit upsetting.
We were worried about the head and the feet and legs because they're plastic. We didn't want to burn that, so Parker took a knife and a machete and just sawed the arms and legs and head off before throwing the torso into the fire.
Definitely could include that in the video.
I think that task was clearly inspired by the fact you had not made a fire that day yet.
So I'd yet to dismember a baby.
You accomplished both in one day.
Yeah, big day.
I really love the context or additional context surrounding this task, which is Cole suggested he like jumps off the boat while it's moving. I said, well, why don't you just go tube? We just put you on the tube. And he said, what's tubing? And I said, let's go. I said, I put the tube on. I said, get on. I did not explain the concept at all.
He also did his best to throw me off of the tube.
Yeah.
Eric, I got Parker looks like he makes the best sandwiches.
I was under a lot of pressure. I didn't know what to do.
I don't even know if I can like vouch for that comment. Like I appreciate it. I don't think that's true. I've made like decent sandwiches.
Well, you just looked like you. Of course, I hadn't made them before, but you looked like you made them.
What about me? Like big sandwich, like handling hands, like a face to smile on a well-made sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay, all that.
You probably
Glad we got
gathered
this
from your
down.
time in the hog job in Board.
And Bree and Parker, just 4 each. I also want to read off the rocks that Parker said. He started with andesite, diorite. I've been informed this is a Minecraft thing, but at the time I was like, whoa, he knows a lot about geology. But then that transitioned into his last 5 answers were, his last 4 answers were rocks, ingenious, hardened mud, and soft mud. None of which I So I was confused. This wasn't his first choice for a task. His first suggestion was. This is going to be cut from the episode, but I'll just let you guys know his first suggestion was come the hardest. Hardest 10 minutes. This will be cut from the YouTube video, but I just wanted everyone to know that.
I go to lab.
I should also say, I felt awful after eating those peas. I felt nauseated for like an hour after that. It was horrible.
Yeah, 6 more hours of filming.
Yeah, it was a bad start.
Was it more the guilt or the?
No, it was just the sheer amount of peas in me was awful.
I felt fine after the onion.
That's good.
Parker felt great after this.
I felt very unaffected.
Parker's like the real winner here.
Yeah.
Ian or Cole, I'm gonna need some arguments.
So, I need you to put yourself in the world of this painting, a world where David is leading a dystopian army of his Taskmaster zombies in order to force every remaining human to complete his task, his diabolical task.
What are his tasks?
Diabolical.
Yeah, but what are we doing?
I don't know. You have to imagine.
I would be
Yeah.
upset.
I haven't opened the letter yet.
I think some things are scarier than having to do Taskmaster.
Not in this world.
What is David making you do in this world? Well, it's more that you have no chance of defeating him.
Okay, but why, like, I usually get along with David. Why in this world do I have to defeat him?
The situation is that David, in real life as well as in this painting, is a vampire. Has a thirst for blood.
But why do you need to defeat a vampire? Maybe he just needs a sip.
Well, this painting comes from a place of real fear, as described. You know, you have to consider.
I will say that your raw intimidation of David, as David's mom so aptly put, does come across.
Okay.
Your work though could be sold on your store. It
Yeah.
does look nice though.
I'm sure people would love this.
If you'd like to see more pieces like this, check out the Boisvert merch store.
I will say.
Worst time during the episode to plug that.
All right, Cole, would you consider yourself fairly smart?
And it depends on whether it's like instrumental or epistemic rationality.
Right. Well, okay, that's why I thought you'd say something like that, which is why we recorded this special task with you and only you. Hi, Cole.
David, all right, what have you got for me this time?
Task.
A task? Prove you're smarter than the other contestants. Smartest contestant wins. You have 5 squared minus root 20, 20 minutes. Your time starts now. So I want to prove that I'm smarter than the other contestants. So should I just say a bunch of smart-ass sounding stuff, and then people will be forced to admit their sheer ignorance rather than the weight of my vocabulary?
Cole. Well, okay, well, I'm sure this is not going to be a humbling experience at all, but let's go ahead and watch Cole prove that he's smarter than everyone else.
I mean, intelligence is ultimately reacting to unexpected environments, right? It's your performance across environments.
Okay.
Okay,
so if I sent you like a series of tasks and we filmed like how you did it,
so generally the goal of intelligence is rational behavior. If the payoff is the logarithm of the amount that you put on a given outcome, but it's possible for a utility function to be any function over states of the world. That's all a little bit informal.
Yeah, that was a casual.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, we're not gonna get into the details.
I was gonna get a little bit more into the details. I was just saying that as a.
Don't let me stop you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what intelligence is. So then.
Are you ready to prove it now? You've defined what intelligence is, right? So now you're gonna prove that you have it.
That I have some of it.
Yeah. So you have 4 minutes left.
Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know how I would go about that. Of the integers under multiplication. Yes.
Alright, that's your time, Cole.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, thanks. I think this is gonna play out really well on screen.
Yeah, I don't know if you were just filming me or if you're actually filming the board, because if you're filming me, it would be somewhat difficult to follow, I think. Whereas if you're filming the board, it was all very clear.
Honestly, can I just say I've never met anybody more intelligent in my life.
I appreciate that.
I know I learned some things.
That was the most boring 20 minutes.
I just explained the definition of leg cutter intelligence for David.
Yeah, I have some golden quotes here. He said, "When Ixian optimality guarantees were undercut by Marcus Hutter, that really got me down for about a week."
Maybe we're all smarter for not having our weeks ruined for that.
Well, you haven't read it yet.
You're assuming a lot.
I actually read it and it made me feel great. I was on cloud 9 for a long time.
I just want the way you chose to prove your intelligence was by talking about how smart you were and writing it on a board.
No, I talked about what intelligence was for 20 minutes at the end.
And then ran out of time before you could prove it.
Very smart. David has aptly pointed out, communicate would have worked.
Yeah, well, see, I don't want to communicate. I want excommunicate because I want to I wanted to like talk to David that negative emotions and negative things and experiences.
You could have just told him.
Well, I could have, but then it wouldn't have furthered my ability to complete the task.
It didn't. It took time.